one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everybody. Even though it doesn't seem like evening because the sun is setting later, thank you all so much for coming. As you can see, we have a few special students with us here tonight, and we are very excited to hear presentations. First, I would just like to comment on the middle school flag. Dr. Susico, Dr. Ryan and I were able to attend it the other night, and it was amazing. So we applaud the middle school teachers and students for their performance. And now I would like to pass this over to the budget hearing, which will begin. Presentation first? Oh, okay. No, the budget hearing has to be first.
Good evening, everybody. So just to do a quick review of the adopted budget and the revenue projection. For next year, what we're proposing is $151,631,248 budget. You take a look, you'll see it's actually a lower budget than the current year, about 2% lower. And if you take a look at the notes here, it explains why. Included in the current year budget, about $4.3 million for capital projects throughout the district. That's actually included in this budget. And we have a matching one-shot revenue that we have to pay for that. So the actual starting point for this coming year, 23-24, was $4.3 million lower. So we have about $4 million of additional expenses. The main drivers, health insurance premium increases, utility costs. That's why it comes back up just about up to $151.6 million. These are our revenue sources. We're really grateful that we have about $1.2 million of additional state aid, other revenue, about $1.3 of additional revenue. The big drivers in the other revenue category, tuition that we get from other school districts who send their students here to Long Beach. The biggest out par, the high school students that are coming in for 9th grade, a larger class than the outgoing seniors. Also, in this category, interest that we earn from the cash that we have in our bank accounts, the reserve funds that we have earn interest, and because of the interest rate increases that we've seen over the past year, we're earning a sizable amount of revenue for the interest. So because of that, that's what we expect to receive next year, about $1.3 million increase. Between those two categories, the additional state aid and the additional in the other revenue categories, we're able to keep the tax levy increase to a low percentage. You can't really see this here cut off, but it's a 1.5%. So the increase in the tax levy from the current year to next year is about $1.6 million in round numbers for a 1.5 increase. That 1.5% increase is after 2 years of a 0% increase. So we've had this tax levy number for 3 years in a row. Now we're asking for a modest increase of 1.5% just to keep pace with inflation, with some of the cost increases that I mentioned when we talked about the total increase in budget. Something else that's important to know in the ballot, proposition number 2, requesting permission to spend money we already have on hand, the capital projects reserve fund. Some of you know we had some problems in the 100 wing of the middle school over the winter with leaking pipes. We fixed those pipes, and now we're asking to put the remaining pipes that are still in the crawl space above in the ceiling so that they don't continue to deteriorate and we don't have any problems in the middle school next year. That's the main issue that we have in this $5.2 million request that we're asking for permission required by law, even though we have the money on hand, we have to ask the community for permission to spend it. Additionally, what's in that Proposition 2, capital projects, we want to replace 4 HVAC units at the high school, and we also want to replace a kitchen sewer line and the eastern sidewalk curb at Lindell Elementary School. Proposition 1 is the budget. Proposition 2 is requesting permission from the community to spend the $5.2 million that we already have on hand. The board actually adopted the budget that I just talked about at the April 18th meeting. May 9th, that's tonight, is the public budget hearing. It's an opportunity for anyone in the community to come up and say how they feel about it. They can express their feelings about the budget. Next Tuesday is our public budget vote and the board election. And that's the end of our budget cycle. And that's a quick recap of the budget cycle for this year. Turn it over to the public if anyone wants to say anything on the budget itself.
I believe the board puts comments first. Nothing hearing, just public comments first. So anyone in the public right now may comment on the budget hearing only. If you do, please step up to the podium, state your name and address clearly. Okay, thank you, and now we will end the budget hearing. I do want to say before moving forward, Ms. Pace was not able to be here because of work obligations.
I just wanted to add, if I might, Mr. DeVito, that was certainly a personal best I can ever remember, you bringing it in 5 minutes. And thank you very much. Thank you. At this point, we're quite tired of talking about budget, because we're talking about it since November. So thanks, Mr. DeVito, for all your work.
Report of the Superintendent of Schools.
Thank you, Conway. Tonight we have 2 wonderful student presentations about programs that we are so proud of and so excited about. So I don't know who I'm handing off to. Dr. Rostrup, is it you? You're going to do talented writers first?
Yes,
Okay.
well, Miss Rachel Kogel and the amazing award-winning talented writers. I believe we might need a clicker and microphone, yeah? Ava Lori is speaking on behalf of the group. You're all doing it together? Thank you. Okay, wonderful.
Hi everyone, so we're here on behalf of the Talented Writers Program. So for everyone who doesn't know what it is, it's a 4-year course and it's predominantly student run. So even though we have Ms. Kogel as our teacher and we love her, the class kind of functions just within us. So basically the premise is we have one assignment a week and we do some peer editing before class and then we get some teacher feedback and then we read it out loud ourselves and then we get more peer feedback and review it from there. So most of the awards that we get come from submitting them on our own through the class, which is what these awards are from, to the contests like the Scholastic Art and Violations and the Columbia Press Association. So here's some of the best videos right here. That's the award. Lila and Elliot could be. I'm Hallie. And another big thing that we do, most of the students in the class are involved in Club Fragments, which is a literary magazine. And we work with the art classes and all of them ceramics, drawing and painting. We put them all together and make a beautiful collage of all of the work that students are able to contribute. And that also wins a lot of awards and everyone's very proud of it. Yeah, there's plenty of physical copies, so if anyone's interested, I'm sure Ms. Koval will be happy to share.
Also, the Fragments magazine is, so the Fragments magazine is also 100% student-led. Obviously, the school was there as a supervisor, but all the art is done by students, all the writing is done by students, all the layout, the editing, everything is put together by students. So yeah, just as the Talented Writers class in the creative writing program, along with Fragments, it's a very student-run, collaborative, like classes and projects. All right, this is just one of our awards. Just more. Oh, look at that. Oh, look, even more. So many more.
Last year, yeah.
Oh,
Or this year.
yeah.
Oh,
But that was,
go back.
this was literally today, so two of our students, Emily File and Emily Ramirez, they also won awards. That's the kind of cool awards. They won one.
So they want scholarships, so very,
Yeah.
very proud of that.
Alright, so now we're just gonna read some of the work that we created in class. So this is a poem of mine called Pearls. So every autumn, apples let go of their branches, and a pool of rose-colored fruit grows atop fields. As the sun's rays meet the skin, a shine emanates from each pearl, a shine that dims with the day. Radiating moonlight leaves the trees that once fed the animals now shelter them. Owls hide in tree hollows with invisible feathers and fingers. Yet their eyes glow in the darkness. A frozen stare beams from those pearls that rest below scattering stars in the night sky. Just like that. And it's on to
A lot of people in the program also who have two languages. Ms. Koval loves us to like experiment with different languages and stuff like that. Well, that isn't here, but she is. I am here. Here is an excerpt from one of my pieces that I wrote this year called As of Late. All I want is to be lost somewhere beautiful, letting laughter tame the uncontrollable. Alright,
Alright, so this is a lot.
So these are some great excerpts of the work that we produced in the program, and I think, I would like to say that I think collectively speak for everyone that we're all really happy to have this outlet where we could creatively express ourselves and like receive feedback that you don't really get in like standard bigger classes where the teachers more involved. So it's a really good program, and it's also nice to be recognized through all the awards you win through Fragments and stuff, and we're happy to share and have this community for all 4 years of high school.
Also, a big part of the Talented Writers program and like the classes and Fragments magazine in general is like the impact it has on like especially on our academic lives is very big, very large impact, because the skills we learn in that class, they don't just pertain to say writing poems or writing short stories. They are writing skills that we have to apply in all of our classes. You know, grammar, syntax, diction. Several of us took like an IB English test just last week, and a lot of the techniques we had to know we had learned in the Talented Writers class. So on top of it being, a somewhat rigorous, although stress-free course, the skills that we learn in that class are very, very useful in the real world, even in applications beyond creative writing, writing poetry.
And obviously I can't speak to this yet because I have not started college yet, but everyone that comes back and everyone that you speak to who's already gone to college and started their adult lives, like they say every single time that they would not be where they are if they have so much, like they're so grateful and thankful for everything we've learned in this class. And it gets them so far with essays, all kinds of projects and other things in college and beyond. So I'm excited to see where it takes all of us. Yeah.
Just a lot of excerpts from our pieces, big writing poem.
Ms. Cole was very proud.
We check that we will get a copy of the forms.
Oh, yes.
But if anybody out there wants to see it,
Yeah, we distribute
wow,
that.
right?
Yeah.
That's this.
Yeah.
Good luck.
I loved getting ours last year, starting from scratch. The fragment pieces there, just amazing to read. Some of them brought tears to my eyes. So I really can't wait to hear this new version. You guys really are amazing. You said that this is all student-led, student-run.
Well, obviously, we have Ms. Cole to advise us and to push us, but yeah, so assign pieces, But a lot of the peer editing, a lot of the constructive criticism, and a lot of, I guess, how we grow. And like why we grow is because of our friends and our peers in the class. Most of what we learn, obviously, Ms. Cole goes over, but again, it's because other students that may be more knowledgeable or more experienced in the program can teach us. And then we give the advice when we can give advice. So yeah, it's a very student-run student-run program, and as a result, it's also a very safe space for students to express themselves, through their writing, through their works, and it creates a great environment for all of us.
So it's rare to me to hear someone say that it was a rigorous yet stress-free environment, which to me makes it sound like the passion and the motivation is really driven through the group.
Yeah, so obviously we have work every week, and it takes effort to create a piece every week, a poem or
You enjoy it.
Yeah, but we enjoy it, and we put a lot of our, as I said, passion into it, and a lot of us put our cultures and our identity into the pieces that we create and what we want to create. So in a way, it is stress-free also, because you're not pressured to conform to a certain way of how to write or what to write. You're very free in what you want to create in that class.
And I mean, if it does become something that like you don't love anymore, that you're not passionate about anymore, there's no pressure to be in it all 4 years. You ever need like a break from the class, or it's just not for you. So
You'll learn from your adult in the future and adult days that there's a praise and it goes different ways. If you love what you do, you never work a day. And it sounds like you guys really love what you're doing.
yeah, I feel like the way the class is run, like the community of the kids and everything, and like the school is just a community advisor, it makes everything so lovable. Like it's so, the way everything works, it just is like, it's such an amazing program.
It's like what you want college writing to be, right? Yeah, and that kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'd just like to, give a bouquet to Mrs. Conway, because it was Mrs. Conway's sort of initiation that we have the different programs present, do a public presentation at a board meeting. Because oftentimes when we do budget, it's pretty much black and white. You look at numbers, you look at programs, you try to make decisions in terms of equity, elementary versus secondary. So it's nice to meet the authors. Historically, we always receive the booklet in terms of the final copy and final edition of Fragment. We very rarely got to meet the authors. So this has been very special, I think, for all of us to meet the people behind the poems and behind the short stories. And the superintendent was kind enough to send us, the board members, a list of the other schools that compete or that participate in Fragment. And it's quite a competitive program. And Long Beach certainly holds its own, and it's holds its own because of the efforts of Mrs. Coble and because of you students who put in the time and put in the effort and have had the courage to step up and to do this. So on behalf of the board, I thank you. It's nice to see the authors themselves. And we salute you and we thank you for making Long Beach look good in a competitive sense across Nassau County and across New York State. So thank you very much. Thanks for coming tonight and thanks for the effort you put in. It's great to see it. It's great to witness it firsthand. Thank you very much. We expect to see some Pulitzer Prizes in the future, maybe. Thanks again.
And we would also love you guys to come back when you're alumni and help to inspire future writers.
And our next exciting presentation tonight is our last.
So if we could show the video first, that'd be great. Okay. Yeah. Two of our, they're taking the film class, Mr. Crowley, and they decided to make a documentary on our entire robotics season. So from the start to the finish, Ayla and Thomas worked really hard to put together this documentary, so it's about 10 minutes long. So watch this quick, and then will be a brief presentation. It won't take too long, we promise.
I'm testifying. Well, the school district always requires what it was. That gives that talks about and we that technology. I like that it has a nice environment to attract people. We're always down to have some fun, but we don't like to get serious and start, getting stuff done. We always get to, I get to flex my engineering muscle, that I always love to do. But you guys do the team. How long have you been? Just a few months. Since last year, because that was my freshman year. Years over years. Hard to keep track exactly. When you're in an environment like the robotics club, it feels like time isn't exactly the same because you're just enjoying yourself so much. You get to do so many things, You generally have a so I give it a shot. In this competition, there are a total of 6 robots on the field. When we arrived during configuration match number 1, the team's robot hit a dead zone. The robot lost connection to the phone and was unable to move, and stayed like this until we delivered. Vincent had several theories on what happened to the robot. He asked him what the team was working on to fix. Honestly, we have no idea what just happened. It kind of is really dead zone, I guess. I think. There was an issue with the Wi-Fi, connected and used to control the robot. I think maybe with lucky guys who are agreeing with it, so we kind of move it right now with the talk. Teams may now control the robots for a leader of calibration match 2 begins. Long Beach's robot had already scored a point with Tacoma, which allowed them to quickly go to the next point. They then got a cube with no issue at all, and so far this round was looking great. Then the robot malfunctioned, and we asked Vincent what had just happened. So, it got worse. Location of the radio, and it didn't go well. Then they started to run into connection issues. The robot was beginning to act on its own and would speed up, turn, and play out commands that it was sent previously at a much faster speed. This caused the robots to do some unexpected things. This concluded the unofficial robotics event. Now it's time for the final week. After prepping medicine for 3 months, it's now time for the team to face the final challenge, an official robotics competition.
I'm a little nervous, but I think we're gonna do good.
Instead of focusing on how well we can do, that I want to see how.
Top 3 hours like 2019, but we got amazing robot because unlike all these like fancy robots, our robot is really simplistic and we have a wonderful writing.
After reviewing the team, we asked one of their oldest members to give us an overview of the robot, the Hammerhead Shark.
Well, the robot, it moves around obviously. We use tank controls so that each side is controlled separately with a separate controller. Have an extending arm that has two different points of moving upwards, a movement this way and a movement outwards, with a claw at the end of it that opens and closes using pneumatics to pick up cones or cubes.
There's work to be done.
Hi, I'm Mr. Lara. Yes, sir. MR, there is, Lara, LAR, NAR. And one of the robotics coaches and drivers also got a little drive content. So we actually practice driving figure eight, first figure eight, and we're actually practicing the field element figure eight.
Alright, so last match, our second last match is going to be qualifiers. We won. All 4 robots, well, 2 on the other team and 2 on our team were all disabled. And we pretty much have to win that match for ourselves.
It's really we're all on each single team. One team with Hammerhead working against the awesome Occidental robots.
But we got our autonomous balance, our charge station, and also the charge of the L2. So doing good, and we're keeping our heads up and trying to keep climbing along.
We can talk about it was the exercises. Our autonomous and actually moves like despite this, some incredible moments, our team have made history, moving the first on-pitch captain features of 7 million pounds. Being picked is a 1 in a chance, a chance of going to Houston, a chance of winning, and most of all, a chance to prove to everyone that virtual robotics is the best team to step foot in this competition.
Virtual robotics, raise your fleet, that's
After waiting 75 matches to get to this point, we're over 30 months and countless hours. We were already to take the goals. However, we took a different turn for our team. 1 point. 1 point decided our
We were so close yet so far. Despite this, we still finished 5th, which is a huge deal for any of the team that's been a part of this for a few years. Although we didn't win this time, we will be diligently practicing, crafting, and training for next year's competition, where we will go to Worlds.
Mr. Johnson, am I correct in that the students were the ones who put all of that together?
Yes, yes.
You really all did an amazing job.
Alex,
Excellent.
Alex Gomego and Thomas Fitzpatrick.
So it's the whole thing, we put the robot together and then put the documentary
So
together.
they came on as filmers and then they ended up staying on and becoming team members. The last part of that video is nominated for an award at the Long Island Film Festival this week.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Hi, I'm Mr. Lerner, one of the coaches.
Kelly already,
Hi, I'm Mr. Lerner. I'm one of the coaches with Mr. Johnson. I'm not great with off-the-cuff remarks, so I wrote down some of my thoughts. We obviously like to thank the board and central administration for all of the support. We have been fantastic, and it's part of the reason for our success. And now it's on. It makes a big difference. In not only building a successful robot, but also in creating an environment where any student can be part of the team. And this is a team. It's awesome. I can't emphasize enough how much growth I've personally witnessed in our team community and our student skills. And I know we're all super proud of our team members, and I just want to congratulate these guys on, I know a bunch of them aren't here, but I want to congratulate them on doing a fantastic job. So, thank you.
Dr. Ryan?
Yeah, I just want to congratulate Mr. Johnson and Mr. Lerner and the students, because when I think back to where we started with this, when it was just sort of a conceptual kind of idea, to see you guys progressing to fifth competition and the point separating you from advancement, it's just radical in terms of the progress you made. It's quite apparent that the kids really, really enjoy this. So I won't go on, but when this meeting was held last year and you came, I asked, since it was budget time, is there anything you need? Because now is the time. Speak now or forever hold your peace, since it's budget. And you made a request. I think we found the money to help you out. So in terms of advancing your program, is there anything that you need specifically? Because now might be the time. And I know you might be bashful, but now's the time to ask. And it is the time to ask.
So for next year, a lot of the teams have trailers that they don't want a pickup truck. Because to get this to the event, we have to throw it either in Solana Suburban or my pickup truck. Sorry, I'm always so loud. So anyway, to get to the events at Hasha, we have to throw it in a pickup truck, which is fine. But if it rains, obviously you can see this thing is called electronics. It also means that we have to load all of our toolboxes, extra parts, and equipment into those trucks to get them there, and it is packed with gills. I have a long bed, 4-door pickup truck, and every spare inch besides the driver's seat is taken up with our robotics stuff. So we're looking for an impulse trailer that we can use to shuttle this thing back and forth to competitions. The other things that we're really looking for, we would like to go to more competitions. We only went to one this year, and there's 2 New York regionals. They go consecutively for 1 week, right in the end, middle of March. Had we competed, and I believe this, I'm sure my team will agree, if we competed in that second event, we would have greatly improved, and I have no doubt that we would have gone to the finals or got closer. We ended up being the 5th round draft pick overall, and that's out of 49 teams. So that should say a lot, and this was only our second official competition. It's because our team is unbelievable, and our drive team was awesome, and our pit crew was awesome, and everything you see here was made in-house. A lot of teams will buy their parts. We make everything by hand. Everything that's on there has been welded, machined, drilled, and designed by our kids. So we would like to have the opportunity to go to more competitions. And also, one of the things that kind of held us back is our drivetrain. This one drives like a 10, which is fine. But in order to be competitive with the top tier teams, which is where we want to be, we need this thing called Swerve Drive, which is a little bit expensive, but it'll allow us to basically drive this thing right up there with the best teams in the country. Okay, well,
I didn't mean to discredit talented writers. If you need anything. I feel like Judge Judy up here now. So if there's anything, you guys in good shape? Okay. I just want to tell you, Mr. Justice, I've been in your classroom. And your classroom is actually awesome.
Thank
In terms of just what goes on there on a daily basis. I think kids certainly are energized by the efforts of yourself and Mr. Lerner, that's L-E-R-N-E-R. Correct. I just think it comes from someplace. I think the energy you guys bring to the program certainly transfers to the kids and certainly transfers to the product. So in a $151 million budget, I think we might be able to make it, try to find some code that will help you out. So thanks for your presentation. Thanks for showing up tonight.
One of our team president would just like to say a couple words. I'm sorry.
And don't we also have a presentation of the robot too?
Yeah, we can give you the basics. We can't drive it, it's a little too tight here to drive it, but we can show you some of the parts.
Could you drive it with swerve gun?
Give us the money for
So, my name is Kai, and I'm the current captain, president, whatever you want to call it, of this team.
Top dog.
All right, good enough. And this is Nick here. He's one of our top drivers, along with Aiden, who've essentially driven us to amazing heights during this season. And I just wanted to give you guys an in-depth look at what my experience was. I'm only a sophomore. I've only spent 2 years in this club. But despite this short time, I've learned things that I didn't think I ever would in a normal classroom setting. Not to discredit any of my teachers, but under the guidance of Mr. Johnson and Mr. Lerner, through the building of robots, through these competitions, through spending pretty much 2 hours every day after school for 2 months, I've seen a lot of kids from a lot of facets of the community. I've seen kids who are going to major in music, kids who are going to go into writing, kids who never thought about doing engineering. But somehow they were able to pick up a screwdriver. They were able to make something useful. And maybe they're not gonna major in engineering like I am. But for a lot of these kids, it's a place where we can come together. It's a place where we've created a team and we've created a bond. And I don't think it's gonna be from that again anytime soon. So please, robotics and engineering isn't really a direction that Long Beach has been crossing into. We have a really strong sports program, as you know. We're really known for a lot of other things. We've done amazingly well in comparison to other teams who have hundreds of thousands of dollars in budget, and they spend months and months and years and generations on this. We've only been in the game, we're rookies, and we've come this far. So give us the opportunity, give us your attention, and I promise we'll go even farther from now. And before that, I would like to offer you guys a little token that we've made. And like Mr. Johnson was saying, we house make these things. So these are handprinted on our machines. And this design was actually created by one of the students who isn't even in the robots. Because of the openness that we support, kids just walk in, they contribute their ideas, and we can create something as amazing as you see standing here. Nick, you have anything to say?
Yes, I do actually. I'm Nicholas Gallen, and I'm the treasurer of the team. I just wanted to talk about a little bit with my experience here, but also a little bit about the importance of having or making the team as best as it possibly could be. Now, like Kai, I'm in 10th grade, and we joined last year. And since then, we've kind of grown a lot, and we've formed a bond with the rest of the team, and it's kind of like, initially I wasn't really sure, but it's kind of grown a lot on me, and now of course we're both in positions of leadership, and it's quite fun. But really the most important thing is making the team as best as it can be, because it allows this sort of gateway to be open for those of us who are interested in STEM or in technology to sort of get into the habit of problem solving and like coming up with solutions, working together as a team. And it's quite important to.
Thank you for your time.
Guys, just as you're getting ready to present the show for everyone, I just want to say that I'm a big fan of like project-based learning. I think it really helps kids get into their true function of learning. They can, go their own direction. They can learn projects. They can do things they wouldn't do in the conventional classroom. And I just want to say, like, I was looking at the video and Vincent got up there. More than just robotics and coding and all the stuff you're learning is you're learning failure and resiliency, right? Because things didn't go for no reason, right? And did it make you stronger? Absolutely, right? And it's going to teach you for next time. So I'm really happy that's also coming out of this. And I think now public speaking is going to be a skill that now the robotics team is going to start using. So good job, everyone. And these are very cool.
Before you present, you said something during the documentary about helping your members shine. But that's the true spirit of teamwork. So you've all helped each other shine with the robotics. And even though you said you failed by that one point, you really succeeded because you gathered all of your knowledge and you learned how important it was to work as a team and to rely upon one another. And those are life skills that will help you in every part, high school, college, and beyond. And Mr. Johnson, Ms. Leonard, you two really do put a lot of passion and energy into this program. I've watched it grow since I've been on the Board of Education, since I've been a parent. It's amazing what you have done with the robotics program and with the students in hand. So I really want to give you a big round of applause, even though you keep getting them, but definitely a big round of applause. And I know somebody who might be able to help you get those things that you need. Dr. Diggs.
Great.
But now I know you guys would like to share your presentation, so. Dr. Ryan?
I suspect Mr. Crowley is out with baseball, with the University of Baseball, he's not here tonight. But to coordinate this robotics with the film was very, very clever and most important. So I just wanted to give a shout out to Mr. Crowley for his efforts in terms of publicizing you guys. Because he shouldn't be underestimated in terms of his contribution. So I just want to, on behalf of the board, to thank him for his efforts and for you guys working as a team. Because you're setting a good example for the kids in terms of what teamwork means at a different level. So thank you very much.
So we can't drive it right now, it's kind of small here, and this thing is fast. But we can give you, maybe Aiden and Nick, you want to give a brief rundown of just the features of it? Sure. Okay.
So this is our robot. This is what perfect. So this is the hammerhead, as we call it, because it looks like a hammerhead shark. The main goal of this year's game was to pick up cones and cubes and drop them off at our designated slots. And the way we've done that here is it's very simple. This arm it sits on a gear right here, and it will extend out. And this will open using pneumatics. And when we're in range of the cone and the cube, it closes, and then we can come back down. And the arm itself can also move up and down for avoiding hitting things. And that's really about it. It moves. That's it. We've kept it simple. which is a great thing about what we do here, because when we look at other robots from other teams, they're all like sort of ginormous, and they're all like instead of having one, they have like 18 gears here. So that's it. Thank you.
What is the number that's in your video?
That's our team number.
Do you guys pick it, or is it?
No, it's given to us, it's given to team sequentially, so we're team 8267, and we're competing against like team 20, like 827, so.
So if you would like to have comments, please step up to the podium and say your name. It's okay. Say your name and address so we can all hear you. Okay, thank you. Board of Education comments? Student organization announcements? Questions and comments from the public on tonight's agenda only.
Mr. Conway, do we want to give our students the opportunity to duck out? You're welcome to stay.
Yes.
But I know you may have things to do.
Yes, thank you so much for coming.
Great job.
Okay, we'll take it right out the door, and we'll roll this right out the door.
You guys, thank you so much. That was great.
Good job.
High school on Saturday. You guys go to dinner, it's amazing. A lot of the cars stop. You pull the cars up and stuff. So it's 2020 and 2 o'clock. Okay. Treasurer's report for March 2023, no actions required, just state that we have one. Thank you again, Mr. DeVito, for your transparency. And we need an approval of minutes for regular meeting of April 4th, 2023, and executive session and regular meeting of April 18th, 2023. Can I have a motion, please?
Motion made.
Second.
All in favor, Dr. Ryan?
I vote yes.
Ms. Verona? Mr. Pinto?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Presentations of the superintendent?
Thank you, Ms. Conway. I ask the board to consider item 1, strategic personnel.
Motion made.
Discussion? Dr. Ryan?
Yes.
Ms. Verona? Mr. Pinto?
Yes.
And I vote yes.
And I'd like to introduce Dr. Julie Badassi, who's over there. She's our new science teacher at the high school, and she's a Long Beach High School grad. Who went and got her He was appointed earlier. This is the first formal board meeting for Dr. Dennis Pettis, who started yesterday as our new executive director. I'd ask the board to consider item 2, non-certificated personnel.
May I have a motion? Second?
Second.
Any discussion? Dr. Ryan?
Vote yes.
Ms. Verona? Mr. Pinto?
Yes.
And I vote yes.
Item 3 requires no action. It's an announcement that the district-wide school safety plan is available on the district website for public comment. You can look at the safety plan, there's a space for you to submit comments and questions.
And it'll be
And
up
that-
for 30 days?
That's right. It'll be approved at a later meeting. And I ask the board to consider items 4 through 11 together.
Motion made.
Second. Discussion?
I have one question.
Ms. Verona?
On number 7, I didn't really understand the purpose of that change order. Could you explain that?
Mr. DeVito, do you take that?
Sure. So it's a change order regarding the 90 boardwalk, and the boardwalk was something that we needed to place pursuant to Superstorm Sandy. So as they were out in the field, they realized that they needed to extend some of the piles. So that structure is built on piles that they have to drill into the ground, and because of the sandy bottom and the fact that it's in the marshes, it's always unclear how long piles have to be until they go out there, and it could change from the part that's close to the Nike Center versus as they go further out to the marsh. So they realized that they needed to extend some of the piles, which was an additional cost. And that's a change order that we're formally asking the board to approve. Just as a side note, the project is still within the project estimate, and it's anticipated that 100% of the cost will be covered through mainland New York State.
Excellent, thank you. What is the total cost of that next boardwalk project?
I think right now, I believe it's running about 1.2 to 1.3 million. The original budget was 1.5.
Okay, so, okay, great. That's nice to know. I didn't know that about him. Thank you.
Yep.
Any other discussion? Dr. Ryan?
I vote yes.
Ms. Verona?
Yes.
Mr. Pinto?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Board of Education, additional new old business, if any? Okay. Questions and comments from the public? Yes. 3 minutes, please state your name and address. And maintain the call.
Heather Lacasio, 636 East Park Avenue. So one of my issues that I've had over the years is the fact that our children have never been taught properly how to study. We have a class, and I'm going to read this directly from our course catalog. It says the Avid elective the Avid elective course is designed for students who have desire to challenge themselves with rigorous college preparatory courses and would benefit from additional support for college readiness. It is one component of the Avid school-wide system to ensure Long Beach High School students are college and career ready through access to advanced curriculum with support. The Avid curriculum focuses on writing, inquiry, collaboration, organization, and reading. WICOR, WICOR, instructional strategies engage students and make challenging content accessible. Students will focus on note-taking, outlining, writing, speaking, critical reading, inquiry, test-taking strategies, organization, and self-awareness of the skills. Students are taught to focus, I can't read this website. Note-taking process and how to organize for effort and success using school tools such as binder system, calendars, learning logs, assignments. The students will participate in collaborative projects with facilitated tutorials, which will require higher level thinking and problem-solving skills. It is expected that the Avid elective student will enroll in at least one honors level AP or IB class. Now my question is, what about the kids who are struggling, can't take an IB class, can't take an AP class, or one of these classes? I've been saying from the beginning that when our kids get to 6th grade, we need to teach them how to study properly. And when my daughter got to high school, this class was recommended for her. It didn't fit into her schedule. But even still, my daughter is not taking AP classes. My daughter is not taking IB classes. So I'm asking the district, and I know that you may not be able to answer it right now. And if you can't answer right now, I would hope that somebody could at least shoot an email. What are we doing for the children who are not falling under this category to teach them how to study?
I can certainly answer that.
Right.
I'll send you.
Okay.
Thank you, Mrs. Castro. Any other comments? Okay, Long Beach Classroom Teachers Association.
Ladies and gentlemen. Microphone going. I'd like to start by saying congratulations to our students in the talented writing fragments and robotics competition. We know their success and their presentation this evening has been quite impressive. Also want to remind the community to come out and support our school budget on May 16th. Long Beach Classroom Teachers Association is in full support of this budget, and we believe that the district has put together a budget that is fiscally responsible for our community while maintaining and enhancing many of our programs for our students. So this evening, just want to remind everyone to come out and please vote that budget and to vote for school board members that support our budget.
Thank you. Administrative, supervisory, and PPS group? Nothing from us. LBSEA, Long Beach Schools Employees Association, Group C? PTA? All right, anything else? No? All right, well, everyone, may I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion. Second.
All in favor? Have a great night, everyone.